Welcome, I am Bill Parrish with Home Garden Industries, and today we are going to talk about how to change out the glass in one of our Homestar or Innovation windows. So why would you have to change out the glass? It might be that the glass has a crack, it may have a pinhole or just breaks, in which case you need to be able to know how to change the glass out of the vinyl sash. So our glass is held in by 4 glazing beads, obviously on all 4 sides. You see all the way around here, the perimeter. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the glazing bead first with a couple tools. I'll show you here in a second. And then we will cut the glass out. We will get it ready by prepping it with more glazing tape. We'll reset the glass, reset the glazing beads, and as simple as that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make sure that I have the right tools. For this job, all you really need is a good wood chisel, a little wider the better, and then just a little plastic mallet. So on these, you want to remove the shorter legs first. So what I'll do is I'll take that wood chisel, and because our glazing goes in this way into our sash, what we're going to do is we're going to separate that glazing from the sash by putting the wood chisel right there at the seam, and then we're going to tap it down, so that way we are basically separating that seam, and then we're just going to pop it like that. Once you pop it like that, you can just kind of work your way down. You don't want to go through, you don't want to hit it like this, you always want to be hitting like this so you knock it out. But once you pull it, break it loose, you just use your fingers to remove it, and then you've got this glazing bead removed. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. And because I am right-handed, it's a lot easier for me to work from my right to the left, holding the chisel with my left hand, pop it in, remove it like that. Again, just pull it out with your hands, and then again, rotating the sash and continuing to do the same thing with the upper and lower glazing beads. It's kind of nice that you know where your beads were from the original, so that way they go back in the same way that you took them out. Now, if you were doing this at a customer's home, obviously you don't want to be doing it on their nice wood table, so maybe lay down a piece of cloth or a piece of cardboard, so that way you don't damage anything. Once the glazing is removed, next we're going to cut the glass out. So what we're going to use to cut the glass out is this knife. There are multiple tools that you can use, but what's nice about this knife is that it goes in there really easily and allows you to be able to remove the glass without damaging anything. So just extend the blade out a couple inches. You're going to just cut through all the way the perimeter. Just being careful not to hit yourself. And once that is done, really as easy as just holding down on the glass and pulling the sash off like that. Once you have the sash removed, the next thing we need to do is clean off the old glazing tape. So I'll remove my piece of glass. And the best way to remove that glazing tape is a wood chisel. I prefer, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can use maybe a 1/2 inch one or 1/4 inch one. I prefer the 1/2 inch one because it allows me more movement in there. And then you basically just remove all that tape from all the way around. And then once you have it all removed, and for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just jump to the next step. Once you have it all removed and cleaned off, you don't want anything hanging on there. You want to apply new glazing tape. You can, if you'd like, use a clear caulk. Apply that in there instead of glazing tape, but glazing tape is the original material that's used, and it does a phenomenal job. To get the glazing tape, if you need extra glazing tape, just when you get the IG, let us know and we'll get you some. So you extend that glazing tape out. and you apply it all the way around, making sure that you can see how far away from the edge I am. I'm not over the edge, I'm not all the way against the glass, but you want to make sure not to leave any gaps as you're going all the way around. Once you have the glazing tape in there, now I'm going to leave the side untaped just so we can see the difference. You'll see the tape is basically just the perimeter of this. And yes, I would put tape here, but again, to continue this video, you could use silicone, but again, prefer blue tape. Now you'll see these glazing blocks down here. The glazing blocks should have been there with the original IG. What they do is they do two things. They help center the glass inside the frame, and they keep the glass off of the bottom of the frame, so you have your weep holes where water can weep out right there. If the glazing blocks are missing, please put new ones in there so that way the glass is sitting there properly. So when you put your new IG in, your new glass unit, you want to remove that blue backer on the tape. Sometimes hard to get in there, but if you take your razor blade, you can pull it off like that. You want to remove that all the way around the periphery of the sash before you put your new piece of glass in. Now, when you put your new piece of glass in, and I really should have started this from the beginning, but you want to make sure that your new piece of glass is the same thing as the old piece of glass. So always measure first to make sure before you cut out that old piece of glass before you put this one in. Ensuring that you know which side of the glass is inside and outside. In this particular case, I'm lucky because I've got grids that tell me I've got white on one side and I've got cherry on the other side. But if you do not know which side of the glass is inside and the outside, there will be a sticker that comes on all the glass that'll say this side towards the inside of the house, glaze this side in. When we set our new piece of glass in there, we are going to come against those blocks on the bottom and just being very careful, drop it in, get it all centered up, and there. I do recommend wearing gloves when handling glass. Annealed glass, tempered glass is not as sharp as regular glass, but I just would not want to see anybody hurt. So we're going to take our original glazing beads. We're going to put those back into the sash. If for some reason you damage your glazing bead getting it out, do not hesitate to contact us to get new glazing beads. What we're going to do to get these in is we're going to use our little plastic mallet right here. We're going to start it on one side like that, and then get it on the other side started, and then just work it all the way in. Then we're going to do the same thing on the top. One side, other side. Got it snapped in. And you do want to make sure it's fully engaged so that way it cannot fall back on you. And then I got my sides right here. Same thing. Gonna go ahead and get it started in there. And then the other side. And that is how you reglaze a Home Guard sash.